Hello, we are on page 303 looking at Talk to Talk for 5.1. All right. Use simple and compound interest formulas for the situation for Nico's simple interest account and Raul's compound interest account to complete the table. Round to the nearest cent. So simple interest was Nico. Go ahead, put Nico on top. Compound was Raul. Go ahead and put Raul on top. And we need to go back to the beginning of this section and remember how much money were they starting with and what was their interest rate. Okay, we have the generic formulas, but the P0, what they start with and what their interest rate is, changed. So if I flip on back, I'm looking at page 296. Nico started out with $1,000 and his rate was 5%. Then flip a little farther along. We didn't talk about Raul to the next section. Raul also started out with $1,000. And his rate, I'm looking on page 300, was also 5%. That makes it easy. Both of them started the same. $1,000, 5%. What's different is simple interest has a different formula to figure it out. Now, time, what are we measuring time in? Years. And what's the symbol we use for time in these equations? T. Okay. Simple interest units. What is interest measured in? Dollars. It is a certain percent, but after you get the percent, where the interest earned is in dollars, and that's true for both Nico and Raul. Okay, now the expression for Nico's simple interest balance, if we look on over here to page 302, bottom of the page, first of all, the generic is P0 plus P0 times R times T. Is that too small? I can make it a little bigger, but we lose part of the table. Okay, then we're going to put in numbers. 1,000 plus 1,000 times, how do we write 5% as a, thank you. And then we're just going to leave the T in there. Okay, Raul, his formula is different. Compound interest P0, 1 plus R raised to the T. Or 1,000, 1.05. That's what happens when we add 1 to 0.05 raised to the T. Okay, simple interest balance. That means how much money is in the count. So at times 0, that's the starting. This guy has 1,000, and this guy has 1,000. Okay, after 1 year, we take Nico's formula and put a 1 in for T. Go ahead, get your calculators out. Clear, mode, clear, get them on. 1,000 plus 1,000 times 0.05 times 1. So 1,000 plus 1,000 times 0.05 times 1. That's this interest, 1,000, 0.05, and time, and the time is 1. Enter. 1,050. Do you agree?
Yep.
Okay. Now, in compound interest, I'm going to go, let's see, move this over a tiny bit. Or actually, I can put this over on this side. Clear that out. 1,000 times, parentheses, 1.05, close the parentheses. Raise it to a 1. Enter. 1,050. Are you the same as, you have the same as I do? Okay, any difference after 1 year? No. So Raul and Nico, if they're only leaving their money in for a year, they can choose either account. Go ahead, please, and fill in the next 6 boxes. 2 years, 8 years, 100 years for Nico, using his formula. 2 years, 8 years, 100 years for Raul. I'll be walking around. You guys have a calculator? It helps if you take the cover off. And turn it on and put 2 rings together. Okay, but you're working with Christian, kind of making sure he's doing the right thing. You may want to pull up a chair over here. You have one of these? Yeah, so it's getting the hang of how to use that. Yeah. I mean, it's basically the same thing over and over. Down that way, and down that way. Oh, you know what? You didn't raise it to 2. I wasn't sure which form. It's like you were mixing the 2 formulas. So which one are you doing? This one first? Okay, so go 1,000. It's right there. Parentheses. 1.05. Close the parentheses. And now this button. 2. There you go. So try it. That would copy that keystroke, but put an 8 up in the end. That's what I So it won't. That's an easier. So far, so good. Keep yeah. A lot of money. If you're alive for 100 years. That's different than what other people do. Oh, because this formula does that. You always need to put it out. Yeah. Okay, you guys got it. These guys got it. Come on. Más rápido, por favor. Good, one more. And you catch up. All right.
Hey, what is it?
Guillermo showed me something smart, super smart. If you can hear me, snap once. Can you hear me, snap twice? Okay, one thing, if you're doing the same thing over and over, like I have Raul's expression in here from the last time I did something in front of you. Oh, not anymore. There we go. I can jump backwards. Oh, maybe. Okay. Oh, maybe my calculator doesn't do it. Okay. Jump backwards, press enter. Oh, and then scroll backwards. Look, look, look. Excuse me. I'm up at the exponent. I'm going to change the exponent. Okay, do you see what's happening in my calculator? I'm repeating that function, and I'm just going to change the exponent. The next one is 2. Push enter. 1102.50. Again, back it up. Up, enter. Back it up. Change the exponent to 8. Enter. You don't have to rekey everything. The calculator is smarter than we are if we can figure out how to use it. Okay? Up. You guys already all figured this out. I'm just slow. Okay, so every once in a while there's somebody out there slow like me. So all I'm doing is using the same expression that's already in my calculator, backing it up, changing the exponent. You don't sound very impressed. So, number 2. Oscar, what do you have for Nico in the second year? $1,100. Even? 0, 0. Okay. How about in year 8? Wyatt? 1,400. And how about in year 100?
6,000.
Okay. Terrell. Brody, could you read about Terrell for us?
Terrell is looking for some financial advice. He has the option to deposit $1,000 into the simple interest account just like Nico's account, or a compound interest account just like Val's account. The compound interest account would cost him a one-time startup fee of $200. The simple interest account is free. Into which account would you let Terrell to put his money in?
Okay, so the compound interest, the one like Raul's, costs $200 to start. Okay, so instead of being side by side identical, every step of the way right here is minus 200 according to this new scenario for Terrell. So minus 200, there's a fee. Okay, so what would you tell Terrell? Should he do this even though it costs 100 or 200?
How old is Terrell?
How old? Why does that matter?
Because if he's like if he's a young teenager, then he can goes into the compound loan.
Mr. Marwig is waving. Hold on a minute.
Hey, Marwig!
He probably wants to answer the question.
No.
Hello?
This one to me?
What?
There's someone behind you, Mr. Marwig.
Who do you want?
The killer's behind you.
Who do you want?
He's gonna kill you.
Who are you asking for?
Mark?
I heard Mark.
I heard Jorge.
I think he was looking for one of you.
I thought he,
Okay.
I thought he asked is Guillermo in that class.
Oh, I thought he asked
heard-
as a
I heard
beer.
Jorge.
It could be Martine, it could be Guillermo, but
I
you
heard Guillermo.
guys better be on best behavior. Apparently, Big Brother is watching. Okay, so, alright. I had a feeling that was not an educational venture there. That's my husband, for any of you who don't know. Okay. Besides.
It took me way too long to figure that out.
Yeah. Okay. Jerry was on something before we got interrupted. He said, how old?
Oh yeah. How old is he? Because if he's like a 14-year-old, then if he enters the compound one, then he's gonna, in the long run, he's gonna get more money than the simple interest.
Okay. So if he is young in the long run,
Nah, I just wanted to see if
he will get more money. Oh, that wasn't wrong.
I don't know. That way.
Okay.
Do we
Okay.
have an assembly at 10?
Schedule's on the board, my friend. Number 3. Graph the simple interest and compound interest functions on your calculator, then sketch the graphs on the given grid. Use the bounds of 0, 40, and 0, 6,000. Okay, calculators. The first thing that we're going to do is go to Window. That little boundary that they gave us for Window is the X-min, X-max, Y-min, Y-max. So they're saying go 0 and a max of 40. Remember, this is going to be years. So from 0 to 40 years is why we're changing those boundaries. And then on the Y, that's going to be money. And we're going to go from 0 min to 6,000. It was nice of them to give us a window. Half the time, that's the hardest part. Okay? So now we're going to go to Y equals, excuse me, we have somebody out already. They took the other pass. So Y equals, okay, who do you want to be Y1? Nico or Raul, or does it matter? It doesn't really matter, so let's go ahead. Nico first. Okay, so 1,000 plus 1,000 times 0.05 times x. Are you with me for Y1? Okay, here it is. Excuse me. This isn't easy, so make sure you're doing it. Oh, and it helps if you have it in your hand. 1,000 plus 1,000 times 0.05 times x. And you use this xt theta t. Now, we put the x in where time was. That's Y1, that's Nico's formula. Now we go down to Y2. We're going to put Raul's on the same graph. 1,000, parenthesis, 1.05, parenthesis, exponent, and then xt theta n. We push the little variable button. Graph. That one's linear, that's Nico.
Yeah, mine is like
Go back to your window. Do you have the right windows?
RAM clear.
Okay, then go back to your y equals and double check what you have for y equals. Okay? So now we need to sketch this in the little box. So they both start a little bit up. They're not starting at 0, right? Why is that? This is the balance And they all start at 1,000. Okay? One goes up gradually over the years. That's Nico. It's going up a set amount, $50 every year. And then Raul's starts out pretty close, but starts to swoop up. This is Raul. This is the effect of simple interest, exactly the same every year. This is the effect of compounding interest, a linear function, an exponential function. Again, if you're over here, this is years along the x-axis. In the early years, it doesn't really matter which one you have it in, and if there's a fee, you're going to go with the one with the lowest fee. Okay? But in the later years, if you're able to leave your money in a lot, you want it compounding because it'll go up quicker. Flip the page.
Oh, I did. Wait, why is this page?
What is the average rate of change?
I did.
Determine the average rate of change. I don't want to do this, okay? Right now, put away books. Get out your homework packet, please.